The Korean Public Investment Management System. Public investment management pathway to transparency, fairness, and fiscal soundness. Korea needed an efficient public investment management system for several reasons. First, in the early 1990s, sharp increases in government investment in social welfare and infrastructure resulted in a rapid rise in fiscal spending. Second, inefficiencies were introduced into the existing system due to the procuring ministries directly conducting their own feasibility studies. Finally, the Asian financial crisis provoked a desire to raise awareness of fiscal efficiency and soundness among policymakers. Korea's public investment management system has continuously evolved to meet these needs, resulting in the introduction of the Preliminary Feasibility Study, or the PFS, with its primary focus on the improved governance of public investment management. The PFS is carried out and managed according to the operation and execution guidelines of the Ministry of Economy and Finance, the Budget Authority of Korea. The Ministry of Economy and Finance designates specialized institutions to conduct the PFS. The governance structure, in which the Budget Authority, rather than the procuring ministries, delegates the assessment of projects to specialized independent institutions, guarantees objectivity of the preliminary feasibility study. All new projects with total cost of 50 billion Korean won or more are subject to the PFS. Although the original focus of the PFS was on economic infrastructure, it has since expanded to include social infrastructure, non-infrastructure related programs such as R&D and welfare, and tax expenditure programs. The Ministry of Economy and Finance receives project proposals from the procuring ministries 2 years before initiation of the project. It reviews whether the project meets requirements to receive national subsidies, the urgency of project implementation, and the details and soundness of the project plans. Then, the Ministry of Economy and Finance selects eligible projects for preliminary feasibility studies in consultation with the Fiscal Project Evaluation Committee. Projects that do not meet requirements are eliminated from the list of eligible projects. The Preliminary Feasibility Study implementation process is a series of steps involving the procuring ministries, the Ministry of Economy and Finance, and the designated assessment institution. First, the procuring ministry submits a request for a preliminary feasibility study on a project to the Ministry of Economy and Finance. Then, the Ministry of Economy and Finance reviews the request for PFS in consultation with the Fiscal Project Evaluation Committee. If the request for PFS meets requirements, the Ministry of Economy and Finance requests an independent designated institution to conduct the PFS. The independent designated institution organizes a team to conduct the study and submits the results of the PFS to the Ministry of Economy and Finance. After receiving the PFS report, the Ministry of Economy and Finance makes the final investment decision and informs the National Assembly of the decision. Finally, the procuring ministry can either go forward with the project by conducting a detailed feasibility study or halt the project completely. The preliminary feasibility study begins with collection of data, a review of relevant issues, and a decision on methods of analysis. The PFS not only analyzes economic feasibility, but also includes policy analysis and balanced regional development analysis. As a designated PFS assessment institution, Korea Development Institute, or KDI, has developed detailed technical guidelines to conduct the PFS. In particular, they provide specific methodologies for each sector to prevent ambiguity and inconsistency across different project types. To promote objectivity and transparency, independent reviewers are designated for each PFS project. Active discussions are conducted during the mid and final reporting meetings, and the content of the study is scrutinized by experts from various sectors in every step. 5 formal meetings are convened throughout the PFS process, 2 of which the Ministry of Economy and Finance and the Procuring Ministry attend. The PFS assessment team estimates costs and benefits of the project and performs policy analysis based on the policy effectiveness submitted by the Procuring Ministry. The Sector Subcommittee, under the Fiscal Project Evaluations Committee, makes a final decision after reviewing the results of the economic feasibility policy and regional development analysis. The results of the preliminary feasibility study are made open to the public. As a designated assessment institution, the Public and Private Infrastructure Investment Management Center, PMAC, of KDI conducts preliminary feasibility studies. Over the past 2 decades, PMAC has conducted preliminary feasibility studies on 814 projects in total. 65% of the projects secured feasibility, resulting in an estimated cost savings of 144.7 trillion Korean won. Compared with other OECD countries in terms of general government debt level, Korea maintains sound fiscal conditions. However, future success will not come through complacency. KDI and the Korean government continues to look to the future to ensure that infrastructure development reflects national policy goals and that public investments are prioritized in a manner appropriate to national economic development.